Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? Co-creating at its best, yes. You bring your important perspective and we bring ours. And together we take thought beyond that which it has been before. It's a nice thing. And as we bring our perspective, our broader perspective, not our better perspective, our broader perspective, and you bring your specific perspective, not your better perspective, but your specific perspective, as the specifics of that which you are focused upon messes with the broadness, the basis of law, the totality of who we all are, perspective of us. As these perspectives blend, it just does not get better than that. But we want to say to you that you do not need us here in this format for that to happen. Because at all times, you are an extension of source energy here in your physical bodies, having your leading edge exposure to contrast, coming to your leading edge conclusions. And whenever you do that, whenever you know what you don't want, so you know what you do want, even if you don't speak about it, when that deciphering and that deciding, sometimes you don't know you're deciding, but we promise you, you always are. You cannot have any exposure to any life without coming to conclusions of what would be better. The evolution of all species is based upon that fact. So as you have your exposure to the contrast and a new idea of an improved, from your perspective, your important perspective, rockets out of you, this rocket of desire, the broader non-physical part of you that resides non-physically, who always exists even while you are physically focused, that broader non-physical part of you accepts your request and holds forevermore the vision, the complete vision of the completion of it. And that's why we say to you that when your life causes you to ask, that it is given in that moment. Now many of you quibble a bit and say, well, if it's just the same to you, Abraham, when you give it to me, I just assume it were in my bank account now. When you give it to me, put him in my bed. When you give it to me, give it to me. And we say, if you will stay with us here today, you will come to understand how when you ask and life causes you to do it all day, every day, it is given. It is given in the purest, fullest means possible. It is given to you vibrationally. And all things that ever become manifest are first vibrationally given. Now, what happens is, when you ask, Source clearly hears what you're asking for. But Source, unlike you, often, you don't always do it, you're doing it less and less all the time, but Source, unlike you, no longer gives attention to the reason that you are asking. In other words, it's enough when you ask, because Source understands that you are asking from the most sincere base of your being, from your own experience. When you ask, it is given. When you're confused, you ask for clarity, even if you don't say the words. When you are angry, you ask for love, even when you do not say the words. When you're sick, you ask for wellness, even though you may be saying the words. When you don't have enough money, you ask for more. In other words, you're asking all day long. And when that desire, that focused, clear asking emanates from you vibrationally, and don't worry about having to learn how to do it vibrationally. You can't stop doing it vibrationally. You are much more vibrational beings than anything else. When that vibration emanates from you, Source focuses upon this newly amended vibration, because after all, it's not the first one you ever offered. You've been offering vibrations. You've been offering them and offering them and offering them, and you have been building a vibrational escrow, so to speak. You have been making requests And Source has been receiving each and every one of them and holding the next idea and the next idea and the next idea and the next idea and the next idea until without you usually even knowing it, you are building a future experience. Now, how far into the future this experience is really up to you. That depends upon how long you, unlike Source, continue to beat the drum of the reason that you asked. In other words, if you don't have enough money and that's why you're asking for more, but you are constantly aware of your lack of money and speaking about it and therefore holding it active in your vibration incessantly, I don't have enough, 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 want more, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, then without meaning to, but by your attention to where you stand, by your attention to the what is that you are living, you prevent yourself from moving easily to the what you have already asked for. And you don't do it just about money, you do it about so many things because, bless your hearts, you are so enamored, you are so steeped, you are so completely and so beautifully, humanly, physically focused that you believe so much in the reality that is that you've forgotten about the reality that you are creating. So, the art of allowing really is about getting in the vortex. Allowing is in the vortex, resistance is not in, and of course there are varying degrees. If you're in despair, you're far from your vortex. If you're in hope, you're close enough that it's bringing you in every now and again, you see. So, our desire for you is that you understand the vortex. We're not ever going to say to you, get in the vortex and stay there forever, because you came forth to explore contrast. Of course you're going to have step one experiences. Just don't make a career out of your step one experiences. Make a career out of your step three experiences. Let being in the vortex be what's most important to you. So, we are eager to talk with you about anything that is important. There is nothing off limits. It is our desire to inspire you, lure you, drag you in any way possible into the vortex. We use every trick in our bag of tricks, and it is a deep bag of tricks, in order to call you into the vortex. You'll find us not too eager to listen to you beat the drum of your out-of-the-vortex conversation. We'll let you get away with it for a little while, but don't be surprised if somebody sits in the chair and we let them get away with it, and when you get in the chair, we don't let you get away with it. There is no accounting to the way you will be treated by us. Because we have the benefit of knowing what's in your vortex and knowing where you are in vibrational proximity to it, and we'll offer the best that we can offer to make it the easiest path possible for you to get in. But these things are necessary before you will receive the benefit of this gathering. First, you must accept that you are more than you see here in these physical bodies, do you? Next, you must accept that the non-physical part of you, some of you call it the soul of you, the God of you, exists even though you are in this physical body. Is that something that you can accept? Next, it is necessary that you acknowledge that you and we are vibrational beings. And it is a vibrational relationship that we have. Good enough? Next, it is of tremendous value for you to acknowledge that the emotions that you feel are your indicator about the variable between the perspective of who you really are and the perspective of who you are being in your body. The perspective of the source part of you, the larger part of you, and the physical part of you that is beating the drum, having the conversation of something here and now, those two vibrational aspects of you are playing against one another all day, every day, and your emotions are your indicator of that play. Easy to understand? So when you're feeling joy, your thought is in agreement with the thought of Source. When you are loving someone and rippling with goosebumps, those goosebumps are your inner being's acknowledgement and agreement with the thought that you have focused within you. When you're hating someone, resenting someone, regretting something, that icky feeling within you is your vibrational, emotional guidance system letting you know that while you have the free will to focus as you wish here in this physical body, you've focused yourself out of alignment with who you are, and the resistance is evident in the negative emotion. Easy enough to accept? Well, if those premises all make sense to you, then buckle your seatbelts and get ready for an In the Vortex experience, because it's who you are, and it's where you belong, and it's not a difficult thing to get in. And after you get in on a pretty consistent basis, you will never again feel uncomfortable about the vortex spitting you out, because you know how to get right back in. In other words, you'll just regroup and go back in and massage the thought into a way that feels better. And we'll offer you some processes that make that easy. So, what do you want to talk about? Some things. It'll be a wonderful unfolding, so just relax and accept that you'll hear what you've come to hear, provided you're in the vortex. Someone inside the vortex cannot communicate with someone not in the vortex. You've been trying that, haven't you? You ever notice that you're on such different wavelengths that there's no possible way? Have you ever been living something and known it fully and tried to explain it to somebody who doesn't get it? And have you noticed that it doesn't matter how many years you spend trying to get them to get it? They never get it? It's like speaking different languages, you say. There's the in the vortex language and there's the out of the vortex language. In the vortex language sounds like life's good in this way and this way and this way. Outside the vortex language sounds like life sucks in this way and this way and this way. Do you know that the contrast is inspiring the expansion of you? Do you know that your emotions let you know whether you're keeping up right now or not? Do you know that you can't not keep up, but you could hold back temporarily? Do you know that when you hold back, it doesn't feel too good? But do you know when you hold back, it causes you to ask for more? And do you know if you still hold back, it causes you to ask for more? And if you still hold back, it causes you to ask for more? And you know eventually, your vortex is spinning so fast and calling you in such a profound way that every now and again, when you're not looking, when you're not resistant, when you're at ease, when you're basking, when you're appreciating, the vortex takes you in and gives you a glimpse of who you are. That's that rush that we were talking about just now. You like knowing about the vortex. Has it put your life into greater context? Do you realize the power with which you've come forth into this experience? Do you know that life is supposed to feel good for you? Do you know that you cannot get it wrong? And you never get it done. And the reason you can't get it wrong is because it's never done. So when it feels the wrongest, that's when you're asking for the more. And when you ask for more, the source within you just calls you harder, you see. So we think this gathering has been well named, the art of allowing. The art of allowing me to be a vibrational match to who I really am. The art of allowing me, through the choices of the thoughts that I'm thinking, to line up with who life has caused me to become. This has been a particularly wonderful gathering. We've appreciated all of you, whether you sat in the chair or not. As someone put forth a question, it activated vibrations all over the room, and the question expanded, and we could feel the power of what you were asking. Together, today, we have taken thought beyond that which it has been before. But then, that's happening all day, every day anyway, isn't it? In other words, you can't fail at your expansion. It is assured. What we are wanting with every word that we offer and every book that we write and every process that we spew is that you will find some way to release a little more resistance and allow yourself a little closer proximity to your vortex. Because it is with everything that we are that we wish for you the majority of the days of this life be lived from inside the vortex. We want you to know with clarity the power and value of that which is you. We want you to feel the pride within you for your contribution to this time-space reality and all that is, that defies anything that anyone has ever felt. We want you to feel appreciation for the others with whom you share your planet. We want you to know that without exception, every one of them is a part of that which you are. You've come here to share this contrasting experience for the purpose of expansion, but not just for the purpose of expansion, because that is an inevitable consequence of beingness. For the purpose of joyous expansion. Life is supposed to feel good to you, and when it doesn't, something is screwy. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely, and as always we remain joyously, blissfully, intimately